Hey guys, it's Mandy with Just One More Bag 01. Thank you for taking a minute to join my channel for today's video. If you like luxury purses, luxury travel, wine, and Yorkies too, then this is the channel for you. And I hope that you'll take a minute to like my video, subscribe to my channel, so that I keep creating content and interacting with you guys. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to talk a little bit about the Louis Vuitton Murakami drops number 1 and 2, and then I do a second video where I talk about the third drop. And I mentioned previously that I have a really cool VIC gift that I was able to get when I was in Cannes, and just kind of talk about everything related to that. So let's get right into it. So I've always liked the Murakami pieces, but I never had any of the older pieces back in the day. At that time, it was an aspirational piece for me. I wasn't really able to afford it. I was in a different role in my career, and it just wasn't an option at the time. So when I had heard that this collection was coming back, I was super excited. I was telling my husband about it all the time. I was watching tons of other YouTubers talking about it, and he kept asking me, when are we going to stop talking about Murakami, quite frankly, because it was all I was watching and talking about. So at that time, I had one of my favorite SAs, and I was able to pre-order. Fortunately, I had a VIC status at the lowest tier, just to be clear, not anything super fancy, but I did have the opportunity to order. How they handled it though is there was a couple pieces that I was able to pre-order, and then they did actually look at some of my bags on the day of launch, and they ordered in store, and then I got them right around. It turned right around and I got them right away. So I was really very, very fortunate. So the pieces I got from drop 1. The first item is the white passport cover, and I have not used this. It's still brand new condition. I just have it in my cabinet with all of the rest of my pieces. I don't know if I'll use it. I don't know why I'm not using it. I like just looking at it. I work in my office that has my cabinets and my closet, and I just enjoy seeing the pieces. I think to me, just because it is so special, I'm reluctant to use it. I do also, I've started collecting passports. I've started getting my main passport cover stamped that I use all the time, and my husband has too. So I don't know if I'll use this. So I'm sure you guys have seen this before, but it does just have the information for the anniversary there stamped at the bottom. It does have the hot pink color. It does have, the 2 little flaps that open so you can put your passport cover in it. I do know that some people have used these as wallets because it does have the card holders. I actually have taken one of my passport covers when I've been traveling for work and used it as a little wallet. And I didn't really bring a bag. I just brought the passport cover, and then I had my phone. I didn't love it in that manner personally, just taking it out like this and with my phone, because it didn't have any sort of closure. I was a little bit concerned with that. So I don't know that I'd do that again. However, I would definitely use this as a wallet in my bag if the size was appropriate. So this was my first piece that I purchased from the collection. The second item that I got was the black passport cover, or Noir, N-O-I-R. So you see it does have the print. And one thing I was surprised about is it did seem a little smaller than I was expecting. I thought that the monogram design would be a little larger. I still love it. I just was expecting it to be larger for some reason. So this does have the printing in silver and black on the inside. The white, just as a reminder, had the gold printing. Let me just double check that. Yep, and here it is again, just for reference. So the gold, and then the silver. I have thought about taking this out and, getting some stamps in it. But again, I have not used this piece at all either. It's still brand new condition, sits on my shelf with the other one on display in my cabinet. We'll see if I do. It's been a little while. All right, the next piece, I love the panda. I had to get this little card holder. I mentioned to you guys in some previous videos that I have definitely migrated towards smaller wallets or card holders. I really do like the card holders in my bag. It's just a little more convenient for me. So it has this little pocket here, this little pocket here, and then the pocket in the center. I'm sure you guys saw that I do still have the tags for this as well, as I have not used this piece yet either. Again, the panda bear just looks at me all day while I'm working, and I just enjoy looking at it. I've thought of using it quite a few times. I'm like, not yet, I'm just not ready, and I have no idea why. I know that I sound crazy, and you guys are probably thinking, why did she buy these things to sit on her shelf? But for me, it is kind of like art. Remember, I saw Winnie B. LV actually just post a video probably within the past week or so, and she was talking about how a lot of her bags are like art to her. And it kind of made me think I've actually taken some of my shopping bags and have framed them and hung them in my office as artwork. I have the panda, I have the little, it's not the onion head, it's the other one. I don't know exactly what that design is called. And then I do also have one of my cherry bags, the really large one, framed as well, hanging up, which you guys will see soon because I kind of moved that into my filming area with the cabinets. Today I'm downstairs. It was just a little bit easier because I had a lot of my equipment set up already. So I thought I'd just make it easy on me. All right, next, moving into the fun stuff, going into bags. So the first bag that I purchased was a design I've never had before. I was really lucky and I got the pochette accessoires, accessoire. I can never say that. Please feel free to correct me in the comments. I know I'm saying it wrong. It does have the silver chain in addition to the strap. For me, I decided to go with the black. I really did like that this had silver hardware. I also liked that it had the black leather strap and not the vachetta. I don't love the vachetta in general. I would prefer to have a different type of material on my bags. And as you guys see my collection, you will see that I do have a few with vachetta, but primarily my bags that I purchased do not. So this actually was my bag of the day today. So I could even show you a little bit about what fits inside. And I guess I probably should have looked at what even was in here first before I decided to do this. But just from a quick view, it is pretty full and it actually does hold a lot though. So first thing, I have my card holder. This is from one of the more recent men's designs actually that was launched shortly after the multicolor. Because I did not get a multicolor card holder, I purchased this after the fact and I used it with the black noir design and I thought that it complemented it well. I also recently purchased this key clay. This is with the new Dream print. It has it's kind of like a lavender design and more of an ombre, iridescent. It's kind of hard. I see it's not really picking up as beautiful as it is, but I absolutely love this. I really wanted to get another piece in this design. I actually had the Nano Speedy in this design ordered. However, I just decided to cancel it because by the time it comes in, summer's going to be over and I've purchased quite a few bags this year. Went to Europe and went a little bit wild, and then you guys have been seeing my recent Hermes addiction and I'm going back to Europe in a couple weeks, so I decided maybe I'd let that go. So maybe down the line I'll purchase on the resale market. I do just have my key fob in here. and then just my keys. So that fits perfect. I love it. It's actually my first key clay. I've seen so many people talk about it, so I thought I'd try it out. I also just have, this is just a little Coach round wallet for my change to hold it onto, chapstick, and then I just have a shout wipe, which is actually funny. It's from Louis Vuitton because unfortunately one of the last times I was there, I was wearing white pants and I noticed I had gotten a brown mark on my leg and I was so embarrassed. I was actually going to leave, go buy some new pants and then come back. However, the women there were so nice at the store. They were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I told them the truth. I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm so embarrassed. I have to leave." And they're like, "Well, we have some shout wipes. Do you want some help? Like, let us help you." So I'm like, "Okay." They put me in one of the dressing rooms, gave me the shout wipe so I could clean my pants. And then, you know, all was well. So that was much appreciated and just so kind of them. I also have my phone charger. This is a little random. I have just a couple tampons thrown in there as well. And that's it. So, you know, as I mentioned, this is quite a lot. In here, it does have just a receipt. And I just have this little pocket here. So that is where I put my card holder. And then I just fit everything else in here. I am able to fit my phone in here in addition. I did cram that in there earlier this morning too when I was running to the office. And then just zip it back up. Now, obviously for the straps, you can wear either one. I have worn it with just the chain, but I prefer to wear it with the strap and leave the chain hanging down. I think it's just a nice little pretty accent there. And every time that I have this and I go to the Louis Vuitton store, it's pretty funny because so many sales associates come up and they're like, "Oh, you have that bag?" Because I guess the black really wasn't restocked in the United States. It was more of the white pieces, from my understanding, or maybe in my area and what the essays have told me. All right, final piece from the multicolor collection. And I think this actually is my favorite Murakami piece. This is the On the Go East-West bag. And I have been watching a ton of Murakami videos and I've only seen one other person that has this bag. So I don't know if they really didn't make a lot, if people who have purchased them just haven't been showing them, but I absolutely love it. This is my first on-the-go East-West bag. I have had an on-the-go MM and GM and another MM. I have let all of those go at this point. Honestly, I had a quality issue with one and I had a great experience with it, but I can go into that in another video. So the on the go, for me, it fits a lot of items here. And it has 3 different pouches. Currently, I have the silver chain and I do wear it on my shoulder sometimes. It does have another longer strap. I don't love that strap to try to wear it crossbody, however you can. What I do most of the time is I leave the strap on it and I'll just kind of slip it in one of the pockets and then I'll hand carry it. That's the way I prefer. I generally put it on the crook of my arm and carry it, you know, like this when I'm shopping. So that's my preferred way. But then if I kind of get annoyed with that, I can put it on my shoulder and that's fine. So of course I have a Louis Vuitton receipt there in it that I had left that I just need to remove. It has 1, 2, 3 pouches in it. It does also have the, I don't know if you can see it, but it does have the Murakami pouch, or excuse me, stamp there. So this honestly, guys, is really, like I said, my favorite, and I was surprised by it. I remember kind of being in the store when I was thinking of what to order and just kind of looking at it was the reverse monogram pattern that I had seen with this design. And I was like, oh, I like that, you know, and I was like, oh, what would it look like? It was kind of hard to envision. And then when I got it, I was just like, wow. And for me, it's just a great size. Like I said, the pouches are great. It holds a lot. And I did add this bag charm from Etsy. This seller was awesome. I love the little Vivian. It's kind of funny whenever I do have this bag and I've gone into Louis Vuitton, everyone will look at it and I'll just kind of cover like, don't look at it, don't look at it, you know, and they'll joke around and they'll be like, hey, that's all right, we can replace it with one. And I'm like, well, I like supporting the Etsy sellers and buying from local people too. And like I said, the person where I got those from was amazing. So I highly recommend her shop. If I remember, I will try to post a link to her shop too, just in case you guys would want to check it out, because like I said, it was great. The bottom doesn't have feet. That was probably the only negative I'd say about this. If there was something that we could add, I would like to have some feet on it. But other than that, this has been wonderful for me because it fits a lot. As I mentioned, same kind of reasons I went for this bag. I liked the black. I liked the silver hardware. I liked that it didn't have the vachetta, so I wasn't as worried about any markings on the bag or any discoloration from anything else, you know, gripping the handles all the time, having to worry about that. The little clochette here does have a key in it for your lock. I don't really use that. It's more just for decoration on the bag. But I would definitely recommend an on-the-go, east-west in particular, if you like this style bag. It's a great size. Definitely try it on in your store. So that was everything that I had purchased from the multicolor collection. There probably were a couple additional pieces that I wanted. You know, I did kind of regret maybe not getting the pochette accessoire in the white, but I was really concerned about color transfer. You know, I had seen some bags that had bled from the red interior previously. I understand they corrected that, but just the vachetta. And I felt like the black would go more with what I wear. However, of course, then this summer I decided let's buy all kind of light clothing, and my black bags didn't match everything as well. So the next drop, you guys are all aware, obviously, is the cherry blossoms. So I was pretty excited for that. And unfortunately, my essay had left Louis Vuitton. So I was so upset. And there was someone else that I had spoken to briefly, just in passing. I had kind of seen him. So I kind of started working with him. I actually had purchased the card holder I just showed you guys that is in my bag today, the other multicolor one, and some other pieces in between. And when it came time for the drop, you know, I was like, what do we do? Do I give you money again up front? Do a pre-order? You know, will I just give you a deposit and then you'll try to order for me? So ultimately what we did is I gave them a deposit in advance, and they were going to order for me the day of launch. However, what I ended up with, nothing. I was so bummed. So I was extremely disappointed because I had heard some people talking online about people saying that you should log on the website and try to order on your own. And my store and the SA I was working with at the time never advised me of that or to try it. I was told that, you know, they had my deposit and that they would then place an order for me that day. However, when that day came around, they then said that they did not have the ability to do that. So I was a little frustrated because I didn't even have the opportunity to try on my own. I had pre-ordered the Speedy 25. Well, I attempted to pre-order. I had given a deposit for that, as well as the pochette accessoire and also the card holder with the flower on it. So I missed out. You know, again, I was disappointed, but I was so fortunate and lucky to get all the pieces I did from the multicolor. And really, I was getting excited for cherries. The cherry blossom was probably my least favorite, I had thought initially, until I started seeing the unboxings. And then I had seen the Speedy. When I saw that unboxed, I was a little disappointed, but I am not someone who will pay over retail for a bag. I'd rather just try and get it, and I've been fortunate in finding ways to get things. And you know, when I go into my next video and I talk about cherries and what I did and how I got everything, you'll understand that, to see how I was a little bit more resourceful and forward thinking to make that happen. So I hope you guys enjoyed my Murakami video. If you love Murakami pieces, I do want to just mention Smiling Cats Couture. Lori, she is the Murakami Queen. I've loved watching all of her videos leading up to it. She got me all amped up and excited. And she's just been so kind since I have started my channel by helping to promote me. And I'm just so grateful to her. So if you haven't seen her yet, please take a moment to check her out. I will definitely have her mentioned below in the video. So thank you again for taking some time to spend with me, and I hope that you sign up for my channel for notifications and subscribe so that you can see my next video all about the cherry collection and my VIC gift, which I am excited to share because I have not seen anyone show that yet. All right, guys, thank you. Have a great day. See you soon.